I've been trialing around, looking at a lot of different booths, looking at how things are progressing on 5G. One of the things that stands out with me, obviously, as we get closer to live networks, or we actually do have some live networks, I should say, this year now, the actual kit that's going up and being deployed has certainly shown maturity. But I'm seeing some trends now in terms of continued improvement, where we're seeing a lot more focus on making it easier for the operator to deploy. So shrinking down, say, the massive MIMO antenna, reducing the power for savings on OpEx and heat, dissipation, and all those areas. I'm wondering, what has your company done in that area this year?
Absolutely. So we've moved from demos to trials to live commercial networks. And so in places like Korea and in the US, we've deployed 5G commercially at this point. And what we're seeing now and what we're showing in our booth is really using the strength and the capabilities of Samsung to drive down, like you said, the size, weight, and power of our equipment. So we've just announced our second generation chipset for RF components. So it supports both 28 and 39 gigahertz, including a D-to-A front end. All of those have been turned into ASICs in order to drive down the size of the equipment. Right. So we've got a 25% improvement in our millimeter wave 5G base stations coming out later this year. So that's really exciting. Yeah. It certainly simplifies the site access process, permitting, the obtrusiveness of any equipment. And so it's really, we think, going to accelerate 5G rollouts.
Right. No, I definitely agree. I mean, the easier it is for the operator to deploy, the more they'll deploy, the faster they'll deploy.
Absolutely.
But look, I know Samsung Networks is a lot more than just the radio. And clearly, you've made a lot, talk about how, you're pretty much an end-to-end system provider. Could you share some more with me in terms of what you have in terms, especially say around the packet core or other types of solutions to help operators in terms of, automating their networks, creating more efficiency and optimization?
Absolutely. We're doing a ton of work beyond the radio, where we believe we have some of the best solutions. On the core, we're working closely with our operator partners on moving toward 5G standalone core equipment, but we're also working to add more capacity to LTE networks, bringing control and user plane separation back into 4G LTE. So that's going to dramatically add the flexibility and capacity of the core. We also, in the fall, acquired a company called Z-Labs, based here in Spain, incidentally, that does AI-based analytics for service assurance and customer care. A lot of work going on around tools and automation, because as we move toward 5G, it's becoming more and more important to let the computers kind of figure out how to optimize the network and optimize the user experience. We also have this tiny little mobile device business.
I've heard about it.
Last week announced the Galaxy S10 5G device. Really beautiful phone. We've had a number of folks say to us, I really thought that first 5G phone would be clunky and painful to use and all of that, but you pick up that phone and it really feels like a super premium smartphone. So we're excited about bringing a whole bunch of different 5G solutions to market across our businesses.
Well, beyond that, of course, operators want to make money. And, the obvious place they're going to start is with enhanced mobile broadband, which is essentially, basically adding more capacity to an already congested network. But that's not really something different than LTE. It's kind of just LTE better. Operators are investing a lot, and they keep looking for new ways to make, new areas to make revenues. So, what are some of the use cases? What are some of the areas that you're looking at here at Samsung to try to help operators move along in those areas?
Yeah, absolutely. Monetizing the 5G network is very important. What we're seeing as the first use case out of the gate has been fixed wireless access. Right? Simple approach, leverage the NR network that you're already building to provide broadband for home and enterprise in a way that opens up a new revenue stream and brings competitiveness to a broadband market that in some countries hasn't been very competitive over the years. Beyond that, we see lots of interesting use cases around both consumer and enterprise. Consumer, we're showing an interesting cloud gaming demo here using edge compute platforms. And then on the enterprise side, all kinds of really compelling use cases, from public safety to manufacturing, warehouse automation, and then connected car.
Yeah.
We happen to own a company called Harman International, one of the largest automotive electronics suppliers in the world. And so they're doing a lot of work around telematics control units that become 5G capable over the next couple of years.
Yeah.
So really exciting times to bring 5G to so many different touch points for consumers and businesses, solve real problems.
Yeah. Well, I certainly think that those new use cases will be very important in terms of making 5G a real success. So I'm really looking forward to see how that evolves over the next couple of years. Let me ask you another thing. This is one of the terms that we love to throw out as analysts in the mobile area, ecosystem, because mobile is supposed to be everywhere, but no one company can do everything everywhere. So you have to create partnerships, join alliances, things of that nature to really create, that word ecosystem.
Yep.
Do you have any announcements, or what is Samsung doing in that area?
Absolutely. So as much as we can touch so many different parts of 5G, we're also very much about open.
Yeah.
Very much about open interfaces and open ecosystems. And you see that across many of our businesses. We own Smart Things, and it's an open ecosystem around the smart home. So we've joined, just announced that we joined the ORAN Alliance.
Okay.
We had been active members, active contributors to the XRAN Forum.
Right.
And so that as that organization has moved into the ORAN Alliance, we of course are continuing to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Bring open interfaces into the radio network, which has traditionally been closed off and limited innovation and flexibility. So that was really important. We also announced partnerships with companies like HPE this week. HPE and Samsung are working together in two areas, actually from edge to core. On the edge side, we're working with the Edgeline 8000 platform that HPE announced to bring vRAN capabilities to operators and eventually enterprises.
Yeah.
And then on the core side, we're working together on 5G standalone core, which is going to become a really important part of the 5G network over time as we introduce capabilities like network slicing.
Right. Absolutely. So that's really good. So do you have any other final big messages from Samsung when it comes to Mobile World Congress this year?
Yeah, well, I see. We think this year is a great example, and future years will be even better examples of how Samsung has so many different business units that are touched by 5G, right? And whether it's networks or components and chipsets or mobile devices or automotive or use case customers like manufacturing and healthcare, we think that Samsung can really help the overall industry really understand how to build the best 5G networks and then how to take advantage of them and monetize.
Well, fantastic. Thanks.
Thank you, Daryl.